right place. So someone can just pick it up, and you might also want to ignore instead of going to make it or stress it. Yeah. So this is one practical way.
Like I said before, conflict is something, a disagreement that lingers on. Probably the lady has been complaining and complaining, so it got to a point, there probably was a big fight over the shoe. You understand? She could just ignore.
Okay, but you see, if you keep on ignoring, then the person might think it's okay to leave, and really, you know that it's not okay with
like
you to
ignoring. Some of them it's harmless, so you can, like the example I gave. I mean, it wouldn't really cause anything. So we are talking about ones that you think it's harmless. It will not really bring any
trivial.
Something that is trivial.
Okay, so you feel that this one is trivial. Okay. So which one do you think is major, something that can cause, because the more you keep quiet over an issue, the more it builds up some anger within you. And then one day you'll be eating, and then the person will drop a spoon, and then it will come and trigger the shoe that he left somewhere the other day.
Or the toothpaste.
Yeah, or the toothpaste. It happens.
Okay, so just as what you said, you see, sometimes this is how, conflict can't be easily resolved, or, when you are dealing with something, it should be dealt with at one point in time. Okay. So this is what we are arguing about. Why should you go and connect it to? We are talking about when you think you will come home late. Please let me know. Okay. Then maybe the person comes. This is what we are arguing about. So this is what you've been doing, that you always leave your shoes. What has the shoes got to do with
it? It wasn't resolved.
It was, you see, we brushed it under the carpet.
That's what I'm saying. If you think you can't just ignore and let it stay, then deal with it. But when you're dealing with issues, don't go and connect it with. If you do that, it can't be resolved. One thing at a time.
Prof. Sam, I know somebody who he doesn't want to talk too much. So you do it once, the person will ignore. You do it the second time, you ignore. But the third time, then you talk about it, plus other issues that he has observed. What do you think? Do you think that we should deal with it issue by issue? If that happens, won't it be too many arguments in the home? We want to pile it up and then tackle it one day. Or what do you think about that?
Well, I think it's all part of marriage. The arguments, the troubles, whatever it is all part of marriage. But we need to come to a place where we don't become familiar with each other. Okay. We don't take each other for granted. Now you take each other for granted when one thing is complained over and over and over, and we seems not to change. You say, that is my character, that is who I am, I can't do anything about it and all that. But in marriage, we learn to accept each other. We learn also to compromise. Also, you can't say that is who I am. If who you are or your character is affecting your partner, you need to readjust to change. So if your partner is complaining about your shoe, that, don't put your shoe over here. One of the things I had an issue, my wife had an issue with me when we married, is about eating. Normally, I have announced to my church, I've announced everywhere I go, my senior pastor is even aware, I like food, which my wife knows. I like food a lot, which my wife knows.
Okay.
And my wife is that prim and proper lady. Okay. That is the, let's say...
she says she's not.
Yes, the GIS type. And we are the Bebesa type, And so, when you go to a party,
you shouldn't eat too much.
You shouldn't eat too much. So I'm thinking about, you go, they will give you some rice, be in the plate. You have to use fork and knife to eat, and sometimes you have to take it in some way. My wife will take your time, take your time. And you are using a spoon to collect the rice. I get angry, take your time. I will be angry. Because they serve us the rice to eat. What's the meaning of take my time? So now I devise a way that instead of you telling me take my time, I will eat at home. Have feeling at home. So that when I go, I will take my time to eat it. At least it's something that have helped us. If not, and I decide to follow, take your time, I believe this thing can cause a problem. Do you understand? Yes. So I think that we have to learn to accept each other. We have to learn to compromise, to respect each other's view. It will help us to stay together.
Thank you so much. Don't forget to comment and send in your questions and contributions. Talking about take your time. I think that when we marry, we learn from each other. Yes. So, you know, there are people who are unwilling to change. You see, they think that this is how I am and you should be able to accept me the way I am. And that I see has caused a lot of problems in marriage. For instance, if you have an anger issue, an issue with anger, and you want your spouse to accept that this is how you are, I'm not willing to change, then you are, like you said, taking the person for granted.
Yes.
So how do you deal with people who are unwilling to change? There are people who are not willing to change, because if I keep talking about that, one day the person will keep quiet, and then that will be the end of it.
Yes.
And so, how do you deal with people who are unwilling to change? In resolve, some people who are adamant. I mean, do whatever, get angry however you want. This is how I am. I'm not willing to change. How do you deal with such people?
I think in a Christian marriage, before you married off, obviously you went through counseling, or you have a father or someone that is over you. So if if in your marriage you're having some challenges, or your spouse is unwilling to change, there's one thing you've complained about several times, and it's affecting. If it's not affecting your relationship, like Mrs. Bannerman said, you can ignore. But if it's affecting the marriage, it's affecting your relationship, and the person is unwilling to change, I think you can speak to your spiritual father to talk to him, or someone, not necessarily your spiritual father, or someone, counselor, or someone who you both respect and love, who can counsel you, can talk to your husband or your spouse on your behalf. Yes.
Okay. Mrs. Bannerman, marriage, I know that money has caused a lot of problems in marriages. How does the issue of financial management and mismanagement, or having or not having money at point in time, bring conflict in marriage?
I would say, you know, when you first acknowledge that when we marry, we become one, everything that we owe is also for us, not for me. If you don't put your interest above the other, you know it's for us. When you have that in mind, the two of you, I think it wouldn't be too much of an issue. So this is my money, this is yours. Do this one this way, let's do that. If you know this is for us, you think about it, what you are going to use it for, how you are going to manage it. So if you acknowledge that it's for us, there is no way you could or really mismanage, or even if you are doing that, if your spouse draws your attention on it. Or am I not answering you?
Yes, you are, but you know, for some people it has become a habit. Some people they spend money a lot and they are used to it. So that kind of person wants to have my own money, you see, so that I can be able to spend it the way I like it.
But can you know, this also happens that I earn my salary, you do. Let's put this together for us. Or this is for this project. Okay. I think if you are that kind of person, so this is for you, we can just assign the percentage. This is for you, this is for me. Then we do the other things. Then if that can make you comfortable, you know, marriage compromise, yes. Okay. So to come to a point where you think all of you can be happy,
comfortable,
not that yours should be more comfortable or you should be more happier than the other. You don't take the other for granted.
Okay. For me, money management in marriage and how it can cause an issue in a home.
Well, money management in marriage it can be an issue on two grounds. The first ground is if when we all decide that we have a joint account, and then one person always finds way to embezzle the money in the account without thinking about other people, then it becomes also an issue. There can be a way where all of you decide to keep your money, but if we are all keeping our money, then you always are spending your money on other things where of your own interest, and every time it's my money that must be used in the house, then it becomes a problem. So I think in terms of marriage, you must be able to admit. You must admit to yourself, are you good at financial management? If you are not good, admit to yourself, okay, so if I step out and I'm holding 1,000 Ghana cedis and I'm going to buy A or B and I see C or D, will I be tempted to buy? If you know that you are that type of person, you make sure that if you commit to have to admit that I have financial management issue, it even helps you. So that if I know that financial management issue, when I get money and I know my wife is good, my wife just keep the money. All right. So probably I know you know that for Christian, and sometimes what happens in most Christian home has to do with maybe coming to a realm of maybe supporting in God's house. There are people that they can go to church, and by the time they come back, the money is finished. Why? When my God was preaching, I don't know what happened to me, and God will work. No, so if you know you are that type, when you get your money, you give it to your wife before you go to church. So take enough that you go. So I think in financial
wow.
I don't spend my money.
This one can bring it up.
I wouldn't have any problem with what I'm saying that. You
don't mind her spending her own money.
Spending, but when it comes to
you believe it's your responsibility to take.
That is what I mean. It's my responsibility. So there are times where I can give my wife money and I tell her, don't use it because I know her. By the time you give her money, by the time you realize she's going to buy provision, I said, bring it. So when I give my wife, when I give my wife money and I say,
as a spiritual woman, and cast it out.
So is it not an advantage?
No.
How can it be an advantage?
My wife. So when I give you money,
I hope the men are watching.
When I give my wife money, say take this money for yourself. When I come and she has bought something, I'm not really happy. Use that money for yourself. Don't come and say, I use some for this.
It's a mother's instinct.
No, that instinct is something that.
It's a mother's
so
like for example, they say, if my wife comes and she's holding money, that's her own money. I don't ask my wife how she spends her money. Sometimes when my wife takes her salary, the only thing I ask of my wife is your tithe. You give me your tithe. The rest of the money, what you want to do with it,
it's up to you.
I mean, do with it, but know how to spend your money. But when it comes to my money, I mean, like he's saying, it's our money. There's nothing like I'm going to say your money came and you spent it on my money. No, it's our money.
This can be.
But I believe that when you have a wise wife, okay, and she has the money, she will not also use it anyhow.
Yes.
She will also think. But you don't, as a man, I don't think that my wife is the one who's supposed to take care of the whole house.
Oh, no.
But there are things that goes on in the house that I even don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
All right?
Because
yes.
you're a man, I know in the kitchen.
Yes.
So, for instance, if I need money for a few things, I shouldn't go and ask my husband. I mean, what? No, you see, when the person has left money at home, when we got married, between my husband and I, we agreed that he is the better person at keeping money.
Oh, yes.
Because I will finish it right. So,
and even by finishing it could be like
even for the house.
Yeah.
I'll buy something. He said that did I send you to buy it? So it's something that I have learned. We learn from each other. I've learned so much in that regard that it got to a point. I mean, I was a spendthrift. I want to buy everything. So he had to be hard on me, and that is my husband. He wants to teach you. So when I got my money, he will say that bring the money. We'll use my own money.
Yes.
This is what we use. We'll use this amount.
Yes.
We use this amount for this. We'll use this amount for my own money.
Yes. That's what I said earlier. That if one of you admit that I'm a spendthrift, I use money anyhow, then it's better that if you are blessed to have someone who has good financial management, give them money to that person, because a lot of people buy things they don't need.
Yes,
and so that we can build,
especially ladies.
build.
You go to the town, you come, you are coming.
Okay, so children, both of you have children. You have 3, you have 1 for now. I know that some twins are about to appear. Yes. Yes. Some people, I've seen some couples that before they had children, they were always holding hands, going everywhere together. And then one child appeared. No, it's like it's like there's confusion everywhere. What is the role of children in bringing conflict in the home? I know that we love children; they are the gifts of God and all that. But there's a way that the introduction of a child can just sort of disorganize your love life.
Yes, and I think that with that point, the first thing that you need to understand, every couple, when you miss it, you have each one children come, is that the most important people in marriage is not the children.
It's not easy.
And that is where we find the problem. The most important people in marriage is not the children. When you don't understand this one, the children will always become a source of conflict. Why did they become a source of conflict? When it looks like one person, it can be from both sides. But usually probably with much women. But there are some men who come into marriage, and for them, they marry for children. So when they get children, they are so attached to their children, they don't care about only how you feel, you go. So there are few conflict. Now the conflict changes. Now when the children comes in, they keep growing. Children become very smart. They get to know who, they get to know. So like Vanera and but most of them know that when mommy is pushing them, they can run to my room and come. So my stand is that when this time when we come, I want to pat them. But why do you really like it? So now when they come, I tell them, what did you do? Go back. So whatever you go, I don't want any issue between me and my wife. So like and a clear example. I think she woke up. I had her in my study room, and the mother woke up and he said she's tired, she wants to sleep. And the mother says, no, you have to bath because the bath will come. He said, I'm tired, I want to sleep. Go and bath. And then mother, I don't know what, I think the mother spanked her a little. And she just got annoyed. She said she won't bath. The mother said, she opened, she came to cry. I said, why are you crying? He said, Mommy, I said, what did you do? I said, go and bath. So I think every parent must know what it comes. And then also, when they are young, sometimes especially the woman, first baby, you become too attached to the baby that you start denying the men. And it's not true.
That was why he was going to start.
No, those ones were there. You start denying.
No, but that's.
You start denying the men, and all that attention go to the children, and then become sure. As I said that in everything, understand that the most important people in the marriage is you and the couple. And so you must make time for yourself. Anyhow you make the time. Don't let the children become and then watch when they grow. Children are very smart.
Okay.
They can discern. Every child in the house know who they can easily they can manipulate, because they know that, especially for men. You don't like this cry. Yes. So that is why even in marriage, for most guys, when you cry too much, what do you want? Like something. Okay, take it. So most children know that men, their fathers can't ask, cry and take it. So whenever you come, what do you need? You are crying. Go to your mother. No conflict. I'm gone.
I think that one can bring conflict. Why are you always pushing the children to the mother?
No. She has gone. And she has gone. And the mother has said no. Okay. If I go and say yes, it will be and so then go and then get a yes from your mother so that everybody will be safe.
All right. Okay. So we'll read some of the comments. I don't know why it's not working right. Bobby, please let me borrow your phone. Thank you. All right. So this is from. Just a minute. Okay. Bogla Michael. From my little experience in relationships, the issues are very serious, but can easily be forgiven and ignored. That's true. In marriage, it is trivial, but then it can last like a Palestinian war in Israel. That is so true. You see, some issues that can look so trivial in relationships when you are dating. When you marry and the same thing happens, it's as if
and it becomes trivial.
Yes, as if some tribal war has started. Most people are just laughing. Take your time. People are.
Why is it that people talk about
Anita Kusoyo Adom says, I'm enjoying this, Prof. Sam. Take your time. Michael Bogla again says, the annoying thing is when you've hustled so much and your wife can use soap and throw the little piece away. Are you serious? I got so angry till I just had to let go, because from where I was coming until the last piece is done, no new soap. Verado says you cannot teach an old dog new tricks.
Everybody sometimes must be willing to,
but people must be willing to learn. People must
what is
be
your own
willing to learn.
advantage? Sometimes put the pride aside and learn.
Vaidan Ketia said, beautiful, Mr. and Mrs. Bannerman. Apia Kobe Joshua says, deep. Evangelist Ruthie Nana Ishraba says, they can have one account and he or she can have another account with some money. Yes, that's what we spoke about. Ramiel's Rabble says, I would love us to have our money, but I think it will be best for separate accounts, because these days you can never be sure. What is motivating? You cannot be sure of what. Okay. Vera Ado says, have one joint account for the couple and the woman should have another separate account for herself. He said women, we need a lot of money. It's true. Chris Alija says, MTN is not spiritual cry. Oh, sorry, messing up your network. So sorry. Mrs. Ado again says, women are mostly good managers of money. Really? Not me. My husband is better. Then Ruthie says, not all women spend. Some men are worse. It's true. I've met a few men like that. Okay, Mr. Bogla says, what happens when a woman is a spendthrift? I think we've already addressed that. It's the same people commenting over and over again. Evangelist Ruthie says, I think women are good at managing money. Men should only have their money to pay light and water bill. Really, the rest are for us women. Mrs. Ado says, so see me, I'm not the better person to keep money, but for the sake of peace, he has agreed that I manage the money. You are manipulating the man. Obaya says, I am not sure I can keep our money. I might forget where I put it. Okay. William Kumi says, this is very powerful and inspiring. Thank you too. Paul Sola Rabble says, Prophet Vincent Bannerman, you are pouring down facts. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Lydia Monka says, I'm learning. And Prophet Salom says, ask him, why do you push the child to the mother? You see exactly what I asked.
No, not push. Maybe I didn't say push the child to the mother. Like what I was saying, that children have a way of bringing the conflict. So when a child, when you hear, most of me, I hear my children, I hear her trying to do something, and the mother is saying no. The thing is not good, and she comes to me for me to approve. If I'm going to approve it, then whatever happens, my wife rather, let's say, if she forces it, why are you going to spend much time? So you must just always make sure that you don't buy into the conflict.
We're almost done. Okay, Mrs. Elizabeth also Wedi says, interesting session. Thank you. Prof. Salom says, I think you can mediate for them, which I sometimes do. As in between the mother and the child.
Yes. Oh, that. Okay. It depends on the issue. That's true, but to what extent will a mother and a child have a issue like everybody and the mother and they are fighting and have to come and solve it? What kind of issue? Why is the mother so wicked to fight a child at that?
There's a question here. Chris Alija says, can two spendthrifts have a good marriage? Two people who like to spend so much, can they have a good marriage?
They can.
They can.
They should have their own accounts.
They should have their own account and spend their own money.
And then have a joint account.
You see,
and they have a joint account.
The issue with financial management in the house is when one person spends money without handling responsibilities.
Okay.
But what is spendthrift? If we can pay our kids' fees, we have projects we are doing, and then we are committed to it, and then there's enough money, and I'm spending it. There's no issue. But the issue is when you spend the money Without there are people that before when they get money, they eat somewhere.
The money
So
is
by the time
the money to pay them.
they pay, so at least. But if you are too spending to the point where all of you get money, you have light bills to pay, your children's school
It's a
fees,
spending.
and you all the two of you spend your money, and then there's an issue. Then what happens is that then you must let your account, the school account, the children's account, be linked to the so that when they come, they deduct it. But I'm not sure you can get a case where people spend money and don't pay bills.
But I think that there should always be one person in the
Yes,
marriage
yes.
who is a
Check.
stronger person.
Yes, that's why you must check it before you get
Yes,
married.
so you must check it before you marry, please. And then I'll read the last comment. Paul Solaroba says, in fact, the world must see this interesting program. Chai, conflict resolution ideas be words. Wow, thank you so much. All right. So I have a question here. Mimi El Benad Nelson-Eshun is with us. We miss you so much. Your shoes are so big to fill. He says, how do you resolve conflict in the bedroom? 1 Corinthians 7:1-9. What happens when you are mad at your husband? Hey, thank you so much for reading my mind. What happens when
But
you
you
are
have never
mad
asked that question.
at your husband, which is a turn off for sex? What happens to this scripture? The 1 Corinthians 7. How do you put yourself together since the wife has no authority over her body? Oh, thank you so much
what
for this
happens when you
question.
are mad at your husband?
Uh-huh.
So let the woman answer because they are mad at us.
No, you see, so then we have the same question. We have the same question, so we can't answer it.
We are asking.
No, but you are the one who is
It
mad.
was-
So what do you do when you are mad?
I was actually going to come to that. That does sex solve every issue in marriage? Because a lot of men seem to think that once we have sex, then the thing disappear. So this question, please, I would need the men to answer it, please.
When you are mad,
How
so you must answer the
So
question.
you see,
So can we, on the proposal, are you mad? When we are mad, can sex time? Can we be mad?
No, I can't be mad.
Can you be mad?
sex is meant to be enjoyed by both parties. But you see, when I am so upset, I am not in the mood. So it's a turn off.
No,
So
but
now
the
it
whole
becomes
thing is
a
that-
duty that, okay, now let me
Yeah,
just,
so you
it's
do
a
your
duty. It is not easy like that.
I feel that when if you are going to handle the issue in general, like an issue in the bedroom, it comes with sensitivity.
Yeah.
I personally would not hardly want to push myself. Well, sometimes Charlie, the mood now. You go. So you go. So sometimes probably you do 1, 2 touches. There's no response. Master, just carry your Bible. For me, I'll never derive enjoyment from sex when it is just dutiful.
Exactly.
One is not participating. When it comes to sex in bedroom, I always feel that my wife's interest must be first. But there might be some few cases where probably you are just want a quickie, those ones just happening. Sometimes you just want to release yourself and then there's nothing wrong with that. But for most cases, I don't know why I'm going to push myself on my wife. Especially for me, I'm the type. If maybe I want to, and I type to I say she's tired.
That's all.
There is a she's tired. What should I force her? Yeah, you go. But if you can, at least you can just allow yourself after. But when you are married to somebody who can't, please don't joke. Sure. Just allow and just enjoy.
Don't rape. Okay.
As I said, like for me, I'll never enjoy sex when my wife is not actively involved. It's a turn off for me.
What is your view, Prof. Sam?
I know you really want to hear what I want to say.
Yes, I'm really
but
interested.
it's good. Like Prof. Vincent was saying that if your wife, the woman is not in the mood and is not ready, if the man is not ready to agree, when the woman, I will come to my statement. But if the man is not ready to agree, you the woman read graphic and let him enjoy it. but I think that really read graphic because mommy quoted the scripture in 1 Corinthians.
Please.
Do not defraud each other. Don't defraud yourself.
I think
now
I have to.
your body does not belongs to you. When you marry, your body. You look at me. Don't look at her. Your body does not belongs to you. And so if the man does not agree and the man quote this scripture at you, that don't you think that don't you, I'm coming to my own submission. I'm just saying something. But don't you think this is what must be done? You, for the sake, if you're a Christian woman, for the sake of the word of God, read Daily Graphic or Ghanaian Times, and then let him enjoy. When he's done, you go.
So I should just like
now. But what I'm saying is that sex must be enjoyed.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right, sex must be enjoyed. And I can't imagine having an issue with my wife, and the next minute I go to my wife. We have not solved the issue. There's a problem. I go to my wife and says that, baby, I want to do it. I mean, how will I even feel? How will I even feel? I will not feel okay. All right, so at least there should be a mutual understanding. Sex must be enjoyed. You don't just go and lie on the person and think that I just want to have feel. You yourself, even you're not happy. Sex must be enjoyed. Sex must be done. Papa will always say that you cannot be watching a movie where the movie you are watching you don't hear any sound. So sex must be enjoyed. Each other, your partner must enjoy yourself. Yes. There must be commentary. Your partner must respond. Oh baby, touch here. Oh baby, go here. Oh baby, do this. Do you understand?
Okay.
And it makes it wonderful. When you woke up, you know that Jesus
is Lord.
Yeah, you understand?
Yes.
And so I don't believe. When people say that sex can solve problems in marriage, well, it solves problems, but not all. Especially when the issue at hand has not been dealt with.
Yes.
You have not solved that issue.
Yes.
And the next minute you are going for
especially
sex.
the unrepentant
Yes.
person.
The next minute you are going for sex, your partner is not happy. And the next moment you are calling for sex. I mean,
Yes.
I mean, where are you coming from?
Yeah. I think that statement, sex resolves every issue in marriage. No, I think it's rather when issues are resolved in marriage, sex becomes the person. In fact, the truth is that after you have resolved an issue,
fantastic,
with the issue has been solved, then sex must be the climax, and that one it comes from everywhere. So probably I'm lying on the bed with my wife. We are talking about issue. The mood is not going there. Then probably I talk. When the wife start opening up, the conflict start. So I'm sorry, I love you. Then when that's particular sex, then
you take advantage of this.
But it's not
taking advantage of this.
It's not the conflict.
No, how do you take advantage of it? You have solved the issue. After solving the issue,
it's okay.
No, it's not okay. It's not okay.
After solving the issue, the
the
icing on the cake is the sex. Because after you solve the issue, both of you have understood.
At least
your wife has your wife. Your wife apologized to you, and then you cream the apology with something. Oh my God!
You see,
I mean,
the issue has kept on for
be
long.
very tight.
All of you, most of it. If it's the woman has. She has missed the husband, but just because the issue, she can't really go. So when they saw out, they say, come.
Like what Mami said, and then the scripture she quoted, yes, the body is
it's not for you ahead.
Both.
It's for both of us.
Both. My body is not mine, my body.
So at that point that you know the person is not, I mean, the person is mad at you. Let me borrow her words. But I think you shouldn't also take advantage of that. Because, Mommy, Philippians 2:4 also said, do not merely look out for your own personal interest, but also for the other, the interest of the others. So, I mean, don't put only your interest. This is my mood. I mean, it's that you know you have hurt the person. Let's talk about it. And then let's talk about it. Let's resolve it. There should be a healthy, chat. You should speak to the issue. You know, sometimes too, it could be our choice of words or the time might not be right. You know, just as Abigail did. When Nabal offended David, yes, he did not, she knew the husband. So she did not go there to talk to the husband at that time, because she knew if he had gone there, it would have been worse. David would have ended up destroying the whole house. So she went to David. So sometimes, just as Proverbs 15 said, a soft or quiet answer turns off wrath, but then the harsh one sets
Yes.
itself.
Okay.
So the choice of words and the time to speak about it.
All right, we have some
Let's
comments here.
discuss it before.
Let me go through them. Okay. Evangelist Ruth says, I think when you are mad and you know he will ask for, but how will I know he will ask for it? Go and take a walk. Ah, okay. It didn't happen. Okay, so go and take a walk. Calm down and come back for the shoe. But if he knows that you are angry, why would he ask for it? Good question, my sister. But Michael, I really don't want to read this, but me, I don't mind if you are angry. Just lie down, ignore me, and me just
No, you know that's selfishness.
anointing oil. No way. That is selfishness,
Love
please.
is not
That is selfishness. Mimi Elvin, okay, Sarah Pinto, we miss you. Yes, we do. Lioness Bella, Mommy Mimi, I miss you. I miss her more. Evangelist Ruthie, women are not robots. Sorry, prophets, please. Women are not robots.
No.
Chris Ali just says, Prof, some quoting scripture in the bedroom. So you'll be quoting the scripture to your wife that this is what First Corinthians says.
Because sometimes the scripture might maybe bring factory settings back to factory.
Please, my sister Adom says, Prof Sam, I like that. We know that you will like it. We know that you will like it. Prof Salam says, what I meant is that if mommy says she will not give something to the child, okay, and that child comes crying, you can go and plead with mommy. That's the earlier comment from Solomon. All right. But Mr. Bogla, when your little angel
I think don't read too much.
I will not read this comment
Because
again.
others are there who have
Chris Alija says, romantic
We'll
program.
read this one.
Mimi Elvenat says, Prof Salom, you are coming next week. Oh, Prof Salom, over to you. You are coming next week. Mrs. Agnes Bannerman is watching. She says, I'm really enjoying the show. Thank you so much, Mommy, for watching. Evangelist Ruthie says, amazing show. Jonas Yabua says, sex seals conflict management.
Yes.
We'll think about it.
That's after resolved.
Seals. Okay, after it's been resolved. Yeah. Okay. Michael Tete says, great show. Thank you.
You are a bad man.
You are a bad man, Mr. Bogla. They say you're a bad man. Okay, so so quickly before we end, we want to talk about some of the ways to resolve conflicts, most important of all.
I think that with conflict, the first thing is to admit. Now, when it's only a proud person who don't admit that it's not going on well. If Monday, Tuesday, I knew how I was with my wife, something has happened, you don't need to be told. So when you are proud, that is when you won't admit. So most often when you admit that, okay, this thing not go on, immediately you speak a word. Sometimes you might not know, but probably in some film. That is why initially I was saying that. I mean, I don't know whether maybe I have, but with the conflict, I don't know how I have a conflict that will drag for 3 months, 6 months going. Then I'm a fool. It's only fools in marriage who don't admit. So the first point is to admit. Probably you said something, the other person have not made you know that you have hurt him or her, but you just realize that no, things are not going on. You don't ignore it because it will prolong. So when things are not going on well, the first admit something has happened. I might not know. Is there anything you can go like? If I have offended you anyway, I just want to apologize.
No, especially with the women, when you ask us sometimes what is wrong, you say nothing. And so please, the women too, I'm pleading with us, when you are asked that what is wrong, please let us reduce that. Sometimes it's needed. Yes, but let us reduce it sometimes. Because it doesn't let your partner know.
When they know, they always say
the same thing. Okay, when they've been saying the same thing over and over. Okay, so Mrs. Bannerman, some of the ways we can resolve issues in marriage.
Okay, so aside admitting, just as I said, know when to talk about the issue, and then sometimes it's good to talk face to face. I mean, so that the person can also read your body language, put yourself into it, and then pour it out. And then when the person says it, don't think you are the perfect one. You always want to win through. I mean, there should be a compromise. Sometimes you think you are hurt, but he didn't think that way. So he has poured his heart. You have done so. So now this is how we can go about it. So let's reach a compromise. Don't let your interest override mine. Don't take me for granted. Let's speak out and then speak to the issues. When you think, this is what sometimes I do. When I think I'm so angry, at that time, I wouldn't talk, because when you talk, you can't pick it back. So the timing is also very important.
Okay, I think that there should be understanding. And first of all, if there's an issue you're dealing with, talk about it. Okay, this is what has happened. Like Mrs. Bannerman said, if even if the dots connect to the previous one, as much as possible, not to speak to the issue, okay, at hand. It's natural to now go and bring last week's own and last 2 weeks' own to connect the dots to this one. But let's speak to the issue. And for to the other person, you should be able to be understanding. Okay, sometimes someone is upset about something. It might not be, probably you didn't know what you were doing then, but the person at that moment is upset. You pouring more, getting upset as well. Exactly. Yes. You saying that, oh, okay, I'm sorry, then you expect it to it. Probably the person has taken it as a very serious issue for that individual. So understand your spouse, understand the person at that moment, know that the person is hurt. Try to appeal to the person's emotions and then deal with the issue. I think that would resolve most disagreements.
Well, one of the things I would say is that, the devil is also after your marriage.
Okay.
And the devil wants you to lose your marriage. So after you have admitted, after you have accepted your fault, the two of you should come together and also pray together. Believe God. Work on it, pray on it. Because if you leave it at that hand, say, okay, I've apologized, I've worked on it, there will be all kinds of issues that can arise again. And so spend more time in prayer. Pray for your part, pray about among yourselves. And I believe with prayer and with the help of God, God will help all of you guys to sustain that marriage.
And I also want to say, with a protracted conflict, in such a case, you must always agree on who hears your issue. Who hears your issue. That's very important. You, the couple, must be so certain that we don't carry our issues to people, not to friends, not to family. There's this one particular person. But as much as possible, as Christian couples, must be so mature that our issues don't go to a third person. As a pastor, I'm never excited when issues must come to me. It means that, as I said, the two people involved, either one is too proud not to admit. As I'm sitting here, if I step on my wife's foot, I know. I trying to tell me, I know. So at least we must go. But if issue protract, just have this one person you speak to, then this person we can always take my issue to, and then we can listen to us.
All right. Before we end, let me read a few comments, and then Sarah Penton says, only a proud person will not admit he or she is wrong. Only fools in marriage don't admit. God bless you from Vincent.
Amen.
My husband, Michael Yabwa, says, don't downplay the importance of what your spouse is angry about. That is very important.
And sometimes most women are tempted to think that men don't get hurt. Yes. So like, but men get hurt. And especially when a man admits he's hurt, Yes. Men sometimes get hurt, but most of them feel like.
Okay. Sarah Apente says, understand your spouse, the person at that moment. Okay. Ruthie says, yeah, and I think saying sorry immediately also helps so much. But some of us, sorry is our anthem. So
I will come and apologize.
I will say sorry right now. So some people even apologize in advance because they know that they will get it.
Me, I like saying sorry a lot.
Me too.
My wife
I like
knows
saying
that.
sorry.
I like saying sorry.
And then my husband will say,
Is it to kill the issue?
I mean, sorry helps you. Sorry
Just kill
helps.
the issue.
It doesn't kill the issue per se, but I mean, definitely as the two of us have come together, there will be issues. In marriage, there will be issues.
So we will come to
Ezra will say, but I said sorry. But I said sorry.
I'll be saying it. So I'll say sorry. My wife will always tell me that sorry does not solve the issue.
exactly what my husband has been telling me.
So sorry, then let's discuss the issue. I think if you're at that time, sorry, let's discuss the
you are
issue.
killing him for the discussion. All right, people, thank you so much. I think that we can take a few things away that as couples we should pray together. The strength of every marriage is with the third force, that is God. And so if you pray together, and I believe that as years go by, we learn and we grow. So we shouldn't be fighting over the same old thing over and over again. That is the sign of immaturity. So please let us grow. But if you see that it has prolonged too much, I believe that you should see a counselor or somebody that you both have agreed on. Thank you so much for staying with us. I am Raj, and I sat in for my mother, Mimi L. Bernard Nelson-Eshun. So want to acknowledge my makeup is by Polka Dot. Hey, forgive me, my makeup is by CJ Z Makeover. CJ, please, don't kill me. And my dress is beautifully given by Vogue 360 Woman.
Yes.
You need to call us
And
and get something for yourself. Your makeup is by Polka Dots BL. Your makeup is by Unique, yes, Alberta. And thank you all so much.
And our makeup is by ourselves.
Yes, they did their own makeup. So see you.
I think we should invite people for service tomorrow.
Yes,
I think my senior pastor will do for church.
Okay.
I'll start the whole week. So see you tomorrow at church.
Okay, so want to acknowledge our executive producer, Prophet Bernard L. Bernard Nelson-Eshun. Thank you so much. Our video crew, Ifo Kufiga, and everybody. Our director, Juan Bogla, we salute you, sir. Thank you all so much. Stephen, Ike, Nana, all of you, we are so grateful. And our cherished viewers, keep on watching the Prophet's Wife Show. And next time, and next week, my own mommy will be with us again. See you next week. Thank you.